Let's get started with this breaking news update.
A Walmart manager opened fire in a break room at a Chesapeake, Virginia store, killing 6 people. Chris Wynn is live with the latest.
And you can see the parking lot remains blocked off as police continue their investigation. Tonight, 6 people are dead and several others are in the hospital as the city of Chesapeake tries to make sense of this horrific tragedy. Just ahead of Thanksgiving,
our hearts are just completely broken this morning yet again.
Another mass shooting in America.
We have had 2 horrific acts of violence in the Commonwealth of Virginia in 2 weeks.
A gunman opening fire in a Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart just before the store closed Tuesday night. An employee detailing the harrowing experience on social media.
Just left out the break room, come in there, started capping people up in there, started shooting, bro. Like, I'm whole though, y'all. Sadly though, we lost a few of our associates.
At least 6 people are dead and at least 4 remain hospitalized Wednesday.
I can say that 2 of them remain in the intensive care unit in critical condition.
The shooter has been identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing, a team lead on the overnight shift at the store. Officials believe he acted alone before taking his own life, and police say there is no further threat to the community.
The investigation's still ongoing. We'll be processing that scene for days.
In a statement, Walmart said, "We're working closely with law enforcement, and we are focused on supporting our associates." In their grief, calls for solutions from the Chesapeake community.
For all the people who are saying that their hearts and prayers go out to these people, I don't want to hear any more about that until they get serious about gun violence prevention.
And there's no clear motive at this hour, but employees say the gunman exhibited odd and at times threatening behavior in the past. Live from Chesapeake, Virginia, I'm Chris Wynn. Back to you.
All right, our first alert weather team is monitoring a developing weather situation ahead of the holiday weekend. We're bringing in Billy V to give us the latest headlines involving that. Billy, what's up?
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Let's go ahead and give you the lowdown on this. First of all, first alert weather for you, strong winds and huge surf. It is on the way. It will start to be here tonight. But for today, here's our weather for you. Moderate winds under advisory level. That cold front is expected to start arriving tonight. Later tonight as we go into the early morning hours for Kauai and Oahu, we'll start off that way. Advisory winds, warning level surf is what we're expecting. So let's go ahead and show you on the radar what we've got. There's that front. It's right now a couple of 100 miles north of the state of Hawaii. Now this is going to, we move forward in time, that will start to affect us. That's coming up tonight as we go in towards tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Oahu, you can see it moves on down the island chain, Maui and Hawaii Island, Thursday, 5 p.m. And then after that, of course, the winds behind it. We'll get some windward and Mauka showers drifting leeward at times. But look at this. Sunday, 8 a.m., no winds. They're going to go real light on us. And then we'll start to see some of the moisture come up from the south. So Monday, we're still 6 days, 7 days away. That should happen. Once again, the rain will start to affect our weather here in the islands.
All right, Billy, so break it down for us. Exactly how strong are these winds going to get, and what are the experts saying to be safe?
Okay, the possible gusts are up to 50 miles per hour. So what we can expect coming in overnight into tomorrow morning, we're talking 25 to 35 miles per hour with those possible higher gusts. For a lot of the islands, what will happen is that the winds, as the front comes through, will go over the windward side of Oahu, and they'll come down on the leeward side. They'll go over the Ko'olau and come down. And as they come down, they pick up speed. So in some of the valleys and some of the leeward sides, right at the base of the mountain, you're going to see that pickup of wind. So once again, higher gusts. So if the power goes out, here's one thing that you can do. Download the Hawaii News Now weather app. So that way, if the power goes out, you've always got the latest weather right in the palm of your hands. You may want to think about doing, rethink the Thanksgiving outdoors thing to moving it indoors, because the rain and the wind are going to be a big parts of the Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. More so, it'll be more of a wind event than anything else. And then check around the house for loose items. Unplug electricity electronics before the storm arrives, especially if you've got external hard drives. You might want to power those down and just completely disconnect them from the wall. And just know that the weather will change. It depends. So for, say, Oahu and Kauai, we'll get that weather tonight. But like Hawaii Island, won't see it until later on tomorrow. Real quickly, I want to tell you about the surf, and it's going to be big, 4 to 6 feet today. Not too big, right? You're seeing these numbers here and going, well, wait a minute, that's not big. But let's show you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're expecting high surf advisories, 18 to 22 foot surf for Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, 18 to 24. And you just see the numbers right there for all of the islands. Once again, sizable surf on the north-facing shorelines. Some of that wraparound on the west side. South-facing shores will stay relatively small, and the east-facing shores are going to be 5 to 7, but that's going to be really choppy. That's kind of a wrap on the overall weather and what we're looking at for the next 72 hours. Jonathan?
All right, Billy V, thank you so much for that update. Also, a good time to remind people to download our severe weather app from your H&N digital platforms. Thank you, Billy, so much for that update.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Continuing our special series, H&N Investigates Red Hill 1 year later, we're going underground to see Oahu's largest water source that was shut down by the Navy's fuel spill. Mahealani Richardson has the exclusive look.
The Board of Water Supply's Halawa Shaft is the public's water system, and it's still pristine, but it's less than a mile from the Navy's Red Hill Shaft, which was contaminated last year.
The outside of Halawa Shaft is unimpressive. But inside, we catch a ride on a cable car down a 284-foot shaft. With Ernie Lau, Board of Water Supply Manager and Chief Engineer, it leads to a different world and another era. In 1940, with war on the horizon, Honolulu urgently needed water, but supplies were strained. The war would mean more people coming to the island. Board of Water Supply crews started construction of the Halawa Shaft on December 6, 1941. A day before the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Workers witnessed the planes as the United States' entry into conflict. The dangerous work later resumed with men tunneling through the rock in waist-deep water.
Actually, we're walking in the escape tunnel. The workers could actually get into this tunnel and avoid being drowned.
The shaft is Oahu's largest water source.
Behind me are 3 large pumps, the largest being a pump that can pump 7,000 gallons every minute.
The Halawa Shaft is controlled remotely by computer, but it can also be manually controlled by these hand wheels that operate the valves.
Halawa Shaft supplied 20% of Honolulu's needs from Halawa to Hawaii Kai until the tainted water crisis.
The source is ultimately from those tanks.
On December 3rd, Lau announced his decision to shut down Halawa Shaft after reports that the Navy's drinking water was contaminated with fuel.
I didn't know whether or not the fuel had migrated in the aquifer to the point where we could start pumping it up into Halawa Shaft.
He feared the water leaving the shaft would pull contamination from the Navy's underground fuel facility into the civilian supply.
Ernie, do you think that you will ever turn the pumps back on at Halawa Shaft?
Helani, I don't know the answer to that question at this time. Until I can be darn sure that won't happen, I won't turn these pumps on. Hearing the silence in Halawa Shaft, the pump's not running, makes me really sad because this is one of our main water sources that we depend on for Honolulu.
At his news conferences, emotions from the soft-spoken engineer stirred the community.
We cannot wait any longer.
In his letter 8 years ago to the Navy, Lau wrote, a small release of several thousand gallons could produce a groundwater plume that impacts the Navy's Red Hill Shaft water supply. It was a prediction of the current disaster.
So the first thing I thought there, my goodness, last year there was actually fuel in Red Hill Shaft. We're going to be able to see the top of the aquifer when we get to that window.
Back at Halawa Shaft, Lau took us to a viewing area, unveiling Oahu's precious vai, or water. Lights inside give it a vibrant aqua hue.
Basically, crystal clear drinking water.
The edge of the water line difficult to see because it's so still.
There's no ripples, the pumps are not running, everything is still.
The beauty of the pristine water, a reminder of the need for its protection.
For me, it's everything. It's the essence of life for our community. Without this clear, clean water, we can't survive on this island.
Lau says more monitoring wells are needed around the Red Hill site, and he says agencies need to take a preventative approach to prevent more contamination. You can see an extended interview with Lau on our website. I'm Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
A Senate subcommittee will hold an antitrust hearing looking into Ticketmaster. The company has been under public fire for the past week after Taylor Swift fans turned out by the millions to buy tickets for her first tour in 5 years. Many fans experienced site crashes and cancellations, which company officials blamed on unprecedented demand. Ticketmaster has exclusive deals with most of the venues scheduled for performances on the Eras tour, but deny any anti-competitive practices. No date has been given for that antitrust hearing.
So with online shopping and earlier holiday store sales, is Black Friday still holding as much power as it did in the past? Nancy Chin is looking into just that. She filed this report.
Overnight waits, doorbuster deals, and sometimes more than just a few sharp elbows. A beloved custom for some, a day others avoid at all costs. For decades, few traditions have kicked off the holiday season quite like this.
To me, Black Friday means stress and anxiety and crowds.
What's so fun about Black Friday?
It's kind of like atmosphere.
An estimated 115 million people are planning to shop in stores and online the day after Thanksgiving this year, compared to 64 million on Cyber Monday. But even while it continues to be the most popular shopping day, Black Friday as we know it may never be the same.
Is Black Friday dead?
Black Friday is not dead. It's just changing a lot.
Kristen Gall is the president of Rakuten Rewards, a cashback app that partners with thousands of retailers.
Black Friday is supposed to be the Friday after Thanksgiving. Why are we seeing deals now?
Consumer shopping has changed significantly since the pandemic. A lot fewer of us are willing to go to the stores on Black Friday and battle people and use our elbows. That retailers are more willing to allow us to shop over a longer period of time.
Excess inventory left over from the pandemic is also moving up those holiday sales.
There are always discounts, bargains, and sales during this time, but I think it's going to be more aggressive than ever before.
Because they are trying to move that inventory out.
Correct. They don't have space in their warehouses. They're going to lower prices on everything.
That includes the outdoor outfitters REI, which started pulling back from Black Friday itself in 2015 when it closed its doors, shocking the retail industry. This year, the company announced the move will be permanent.
How would you describe Black Friday?
Well, prior to 2015, I would have described it as a bit crazy.
We met REI president and CEO Eric Artz at the company's flagship store in Seattle.
Is Black Friday dead?
Well, it's certainly dead at REI.
You're essentially taking the day off. What does that mean for your bottom line?
Our business has thrived. In 2021, inclusive of Black Friday actions, we posted a record year in both sales and profits. It's a testament to the fact that putting your purpose and your people first, putting it ahead of your profits, the profits will come in due course.
Stores like Target, Macy's, and Walmart have followed suit in recent years by closing on another once major shopping day, Thanksgiving, but still want in on the Black Friday action, even as many stay home.
Your approach to Black Friday this year is, we'll see what happens.
Given all that, the question is, when should you do your shopping? If you're willing to play the game a bit, a lot of retailers will discount further into the holiday season if they don't have a good Black Friday. So there could be some great deals to be had closer to Christmas. But if it's an item you really, really want, go for it on Black Friday itself. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Well, before Black Friday, of course, there is Thanksgiving, and it being Thanksgiving Eve, that holiday travel rush is on. Casey Lund is at Honolulu's airport and filed this report.
Well, especially earlier this morning, things were relatively quiet at Terminal 1, the Hawaiian Airlines terminal. But if you're familiar at all with Security Checkpoint 3, that's the main security checkpoint for most mainland travelers in Terminal 2, you know that security line goes all the way down to the TSA checkpoint down that way. And at some points of today's busy holiday travel day, that line snaked all the way down towards the other lobby. You see that line, what did you think?
Ha 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 ha. Unreal.
Whether it was a trip to the mainland,
we're headed back to Austin, Texas.
Visiting Ohana on a neighbor island. Where are we traveling today, boys?
Kona.
Kona? What are we doing in Kona?
I'm gonna go see family.
Hilo, visiting my auntie and my uncle's new house and having Thanksgiving.
Or even somewhere a little more exciting.
Vegas.
Vegas, yes.
The travelers I talked to were doing their best to save time, but it seems to be moving along okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been waiting?
Oh, like 10 minutes.
And money. I noticed you're probably flying Southwest, not Hawaiian. Why is that?
Oh, the price is cheaper. And plus, bags fly free and a dog is only $35.
Many of the people in this line listened to the warnings from Hawaii DOT to arrive 3 hours early for a mainland flight and at least 2 hours early for an inter-island flight. The TSA says they could see travel numbers comparable to or even higher than pre-pandemic holiday travel figures.
This is the busiest travel day of the year. Is that not correct? So you better travel light and travel efficient and be here early with an aloha, with a mahalo spirit.
And while we were out here, honestly, the line seemed to move pretty smoothly. Most of the travelers I talked to say they were grateful they didn't have to wear a mask this year and that things were much easier compared to Thanksgiving and Christmas during the pandemic. Reporting at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport, I'm Casey Lund for now. We'll send things back to you.
People are excited to get where they're going.
You ready for that, Jonathan?
I am.
Lines?
I am. I just need to pack. Heading that way very soon. I'm coming, Grandma. All right, let's keep on the topic of travel. Check this out. Can you tell what that is?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, take a look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
So, watch what you pack before you head out this holiday. Make sure you don't have an animal in your luggage, a live animal. TSA agents in New York's JFK were so startled to see the outline of a cat inside a checked suitcase. Yeah, it was going through the x-ray machine. Surprisingly, the suitcase's owner doesn't even own a cat. The feline belonged to someone else in the household. The traveler missed his flight to bring the cat back to its owner. He had to rebook for the next day even. The animal appeared to be taking a nap and really wasn't bothered at all by the experience, reportedly. TSA wants to remind pet owners that the next time you pack your bag and go to the airport, make sure the pet hasn't jumped inside for the ride.
I'm sorry, but how do you not notice that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that you got it under like a blanket or a jacket and just right before, but you'd think it'd add some weight. I mean, I pack so much into any bag. There's no way the cat's gonna fit in there. No way. All right, got another holiday story for you. Check this out. She's the happy winner there. North Carolina woman taking home the top prize of this year's National Gingerbread Competition. Ann Bailey is her name. Won $7,500 for her work titled This, When Dreams Have Wings. It's the world's best gingerbread house. Baker is her new title. Bakers from around the world spent months creating these delicious works of art. Months? Yikes. Each of them created this 100% edible work of art. Has to be at least 75% gingerbread. Wow.
Congrats to her.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah,
No.
well, did you like the movie Titanic when it came out?
I'll never let go.
Yeah, I saw it like 5 times in the theater. Anyway, director James Cameron, he's sharing some surprising details from the making of the blockbuster hit. So next month marks 25 years since the release of Titanic, and Cameron told GQ magazine that he almost didn't cast Leonardo DiCaprio or Kate Winslet as his 2 romantic leads in the Oscar-winning film. He said he was initially thinking of someone more like Gwyneth Paltrow for Rose, which is interesting. And while Winslet had been proposed as an option, he says he was afraid she was too much of a typecast. As for DiCaprio, there were some initial hiccups. So Cameron said at first, DiCaprio didn't want to stoop to doing a test read with Winslet before being offered the role, but then he agreed to do the reading, and the electric chemistry between the two was pretty clear. So if you don't remember, the film went on to win 11 Academy Awards.
A lot of people, including myself, usually watch that film for some reason around the holiday times. It brings up nostalgic feelings, along with this next movie, right?
Yeah, so after nearly 2 decades, the cast of the beloved Christmas movie Love Actually is reuniting for an anniversary TV special. Hugh Grant, Laura Linney, Emma Thomas, to name a few, are going to be participating. The 2003 romantic comedy tells the story of several intersecting characters as they prepare for Christmas in London. So it's called The Laughter and Secrets of Love Actually 20 Years Later, a Diane Sawyer special. It's going to look at how the film gathered this diverse ensemble, and it'll also dive into how the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the ways people interact, love, and connect. It airs November 29th. Love that movie too.
I did not see it until
okay.
fairly recently.
Okay.
I've seen it, but it's a couple of years back I saw it for the first time. I didn't see it when it came out. Love Laura Linney.
Yes.
Yes.
Very cute.
Yes. All right. More entertainment news to get to. Big show coming to Netflix today. The Addams Family is back on the small screen with Wednesday, is what it's called. A lot of people really been hyped up for this. Kevin Frazier over at Entertainment Tonight has the story.
Scream 5-star Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday in the Addams Family spinoff, and she told us she has little in common with her gothic character.
Wednesday I've always been compared to, and it's weird because I used to be a really big scaredy cat.
Is that right?
I was the most I still kind of am a really paranoid person.
I trust Enid has given you the old nevermore welcome. Christina Ricci is in this series. Did you take advantage of that by, maybe picking her brain a little bit about Wednesday?
No, I did not pick her brain. It was like an unspoken agreement that we had when we first locked eyes, where we just thought, let's never talk about her. It was scary.
Wednesday is a coming-of-age story focusing on her life in high school, and playing her parents, Catherine Zeta-Jones, is Morticia, and Luis Guzman is Gomez.
You guys are making me nauseous. Not in a good way.
When you find out that your Morticia is none other than Catherine Zeta-Jones, your reaction is,
what? Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Can't wait for that makeout scene.
And you might not recognize Fred Armisen as the creepy Uncle Fester.
Getting into makeup, my head was already shaved, so we just put prosthetics over my eyebrows.
Monsters, murder, mayhem. What fun.
And of course, we'll have so much more on the next Entertainment Tonight. I'm Kevin Frazier.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Great casting on that one, for sure.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So, because it's Thanksgiving, chefs at the Hilton Hawaiian Village are busy preparing a feast. The holiday meals will be donated to the Institute for Human Services to help feed Oahu's homeless community. Now, this feast includes 250 pounds of turkey, 200 pounds of rice and stuffing, 11 gallons of gravy, and 60 pumpkin pies.
Before COVID, we used to go and serve Thanksgiving dinner down there, but since COVID, we've had to restrict our services down there. So it's more of it's a delivery and of food down to the shelter, and so we want to make sure that at least we can provide them a really good meal on Thanksgiving, so they're not forgotten.
This is the 27th year the Hilton is providing Thanksgiving meals for IHS, and I'm sure a lot of other organizations and groups will be doing some donations tomorrow as well.
Yeah. That's a lot of gravy.
Yeah, 11 gallons.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hope you have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Continue to watch that weather. We'll be tracking it here, giving you first alerts to everything that unfolds in the coming hours and days. We're expecting some really gusty winds and some high surf out there. Keep checking those H&N digital platforms for updates. And first at 4 on KHNL. Happy Thanksgiving.
See ya.